on for asking my half-siblings and their mother why I'm supposed to care about my father cheating on her. I, 25 female, don't have a relationship with my father anymore, and a very limited one with my half-siblings, 14 and 15. And I never had a relationship with their mother, who is my father's wife and his former mistress / other women / affair partner. When my mom was alive, he was cheating on my mom with his current wife and some others, but current wife was the main affair partner. I learned this a few weeks after my mom died because my uncle and him were fighting about it. Seems my uncle found my father and his second wife together when my mom was in the hospital dying. My mom had been sick all of 3 weeks before she died, and my father was very clearly with these other women before that too. His wife knew he was married, and she even knew that his wife was dying in the hospital, and she chose to marry him a few months later anyway. I was so young at the time that it was traumatic going from a healthy-ish mom had asthma, mom to a mom who had the flu and then pneumonia and was then gone in a 3-week span. Then to find out that the parent you were left with was a disgusting, filthy cheater who couldn't even be there for his daughter when her mom was sick. And remarries after less than a year to the woman he was with when she was saying goodbye to her mom. My relationship with my father never recovered from learning the truth. I never liked his wife, and I made sure I shut her out anytime she tried to get close to me. I did develop a relationship of sorts with my half-siblings, but there were tension there because they know how I feel about their parents, and they take offense to me not giving their mom a chance. Now they've all learned my father has cheated on her, and she reached out to me to cry about it, but I shut her down and told her to go to hell. Then my half-siblings said they needed to talk to me, and they gave me hell for not being there for their mother, and to imagine how devastated she is. I know they're still young, so I'm trying not to be hard on them, but I did make it clear that I was not there for their mother. They tried to defend her, and she told me she never did anything back to me, and I always treated her like the enemy. I mean, how are you supposed to treat a woman who your dad was fornicating with when your mother was literally dying in the hospital? Like, as somebody who never blames the other person, and who always blames the cheater first, it's kind of heartless for you to be running around with a man knowing damn well that he doesn't even care that his own wife and the mother of his child is sick and dying at the hospital while he's over here fornicating with you. You are the enemy. What the hell? Anyways, I reminded her she always was one of the villains in my eyes. Then I was told yet again that our father had hurt her and how she deserved better and she needed help and she was cheated on. I asked, why am I supposed to care when she's nothing to me? And she was one of those other women in my parents' marriage. My half-siblings told me she's their mother and I should care about her for them and how they don't want me as a sister if I take so much joy at their mom being cheated on. I told them that was okay and I'd just leave. But they said I really should care when someone's cheated on because it's bad and dangerous, and they scrambled to come up with other stuff. Their mother said I shouldn't be talking to teens like that, and I told her she needed to stop her kids bringing me into this and to this then. I went to figure out if I was wrong to ask that in front of my half-siblings specifically. So am I wrong? I mean, it's bad for somebody to get cheated on, but it's worse when that somebody is dying in the hospital and they can't even get a support or some care from their husband because he's out there fornicating with a random woman. Why didn't you say that? Like, I hate some of these stories. The OP clearly doesn't know how to talk well. Like, how the hell are you sitting there making me feel bad because I don't want to coddle you because my dad's cheating on you when you're the other woman that my dad was cheating with when my mom was sick and dying at the hospital? Like, if I was OP, I would just ignore these raggedy little kids and this loser who thinks it's cute to cheat with married men. And then now, the thing is, like, people always think they're special. Just because they did it to the other person, they're not going to do it to me mentality gets people in dangerous situations. What the hell? Like, I'm not talking to these raggedy siblings if I was OP. And I definitely wouldn't even argue. I wouldn't, if this was me, what do you call it? My dad's other, affair partner or wife or whatever it's called, she wouldn't even get a single word out of me. I feel like if you want to degrade somebody, don't even talk to them. I would just look her up and down, roll my eyes, and laugh and walk away from her. Because how the hell do you have the audacity to tell me some bull like that? What the hell? These stories really get me heated. Top comment. Tell your siblings to just give the other woman a chance. After all, she never did anything bad to them, and she's still not the enemy. They're old enough to learn that how you treat others will come back to you, and mom is getting her karma. And then OP replied saying, it'll be interesting if the new other woman says something like that to them. I'm sure they'll have a reason why it's different. And then another commenter said, not sure why your stepmother would be surprised that she lost him like she got him, not the a-hole. Opie replied saying, because I'm sure she spent years blaming my mom or saying that dad hadn't met the one yet. She knew he had other affair partners too, so like, if she was the one, why wouldn't he just focus on her? Because a cheater is always going to be a cheater. You can't really fulfill somebody who loves to cheat on their partners, you know? But I'm glad she got her karma. You know, it would have been better if she was dying at the hospital while he was cheating on her. You know, I feel like certain things, when people do certain things, the exact same thing should happen to them too. Because in this exact scenario, I would have loved if the dad was dying at the hospital, as malicious as that sounds, and it was the wife cheating on him. Because you do the same thing to somebody, but God forbid somebody, you know, does that to you. People always act like what they do to others is not that big a deal. But then somebody does the smallest thing to them, they all have a heart attack. Like, girl. Next story. Am I wrong for refusing to make my sister-in-law's wedding cake for free? I, 29 female, run a bakery business that I've built from the ground up during the past 5 years. It started as a hobby during college, but now it's a registered business with steady clients, a dedicated workspace, and consistent orders during each month. I do mostly for weddings, birthdays, and other events. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and it's not just baking for fun anymore. This is my livelihood. My sister-in-law, 33 female, is getting married at the beginning of June. She's my wife's older sister. We're on friendly terms, but she's always had this vibe like she doesn't really take what I do seriously. She made comments like, it must be nice getting to play in the kitchen all day, or you're lucky people will pay for something they could probably learn on YouTube. Always with a smile like it's a joke, but not really. I've brushed these comments off in the past since they weren't happening all the time and I just didn't want to stir up any drama. So earlier this month, she asked if I'd make her a wedding cake. I said sure and asked what she had in mind. She sent over unspoiled pics of 4-tier cake with smooth buttercream, flower piping, and real flowers on top and cascading down on one side. She wanted it to be chocolate sponge with raspberry filling in terms of taste. Plus, she wanted for me to deliver it to the venue myself on the morning of the wedding, rather than picking it up the day before herself. Well, don't tell me she wants all that for free. After we were done discussing everything, I gave her a quote over the phone with a generous family discount, and sister-in-law replied almost instantly that she didn't think I'd be charging her, and the cake would essentially be a wedding gift. I told her that I don't typically do wedding cakes as gifts because of how much time and work they take, but I'd be happy to buy her something from her registry instead, or still make the cake at a discounted price if she wanted. She wasn't happy. She said I was being transactional and that it was just a cake and I clearly didn't want to be part of her special day before hanging up on me. To be clear, I've made cakes for free before, but those were small, simple ones for people I care about or for those friends who are going through a rough time. This isn't that. My sister-in-law and her fiancé can pay for the cake, and it's not like she's exactly respected my work in the past. Meanwhile, sister-in-law has been telling anyone who's willing to listen that I'm making her big day about myself and trying to profit of her happiness. Seriously, my mother-in-law called and she didn't really ask how I felt or try to understand where I was coming from. She just seemed overwhelmed and kind of desperate to stop this from turning into a bigger family fight. She kept going about how stressed my sister-in-law was and how she was being a bit much, but basically begged me to reconsider. My wife is completely on my side and has told her mom to stop trying to smooth things over at my expense. But she even admitted she sort of wishes I'd just say yes to avoid the fallout. I mean, I feel like if somebody doesn't respect your work, they don't respect you as a person, they don't respect your business, and they don't even see your work and your business as actual work, I probably wouldn't be spending all that time, energy, money, and effort into making them a damn cake. Like OP literally said, she makes people cakes. She makes her friends who are going through a hard time cakes. She makes her friends cakes. She probably makes other family members cakes, but simple and cute cakes, not an entire wedding cake. And then on top of that, for somebody who's rude, disrespectful, and entitled, I definitely wouldn't do that either. Top comment, I'm impressed you didn't send her a YouTube link so she can learn to do it herself, not the a-hole.